Hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to have you with us. Welcome to another episode of The Green Room. My name is Dave. I'm a Christian recording artist and a worship leader from New Jersey, and this is a podcast we call The Green Room. And what we do is talk about my life on the road and shows and just kind of give a little bit of a recap. So this is a recap of August 7, 8, and 9, 2026. Pretty great weekend. Actually kind of an amazing weekend. It started out, so Friday night, first of all, welcome, glad you're here. So it started out on Friday night, so I've played this event a couple of times. It's called Praise in the Park, and it's down in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. And so to get down to Cape May, so I live in the northern part of New Jersey, and to get down to the southern part of New Jersey on a Friday is a tricky task because there's just a lot of traffic and all that kind of stuff. So I left at around 10 o'clock Friday morning, stopped in Asbury Park to get some lunch, it's always a treat to go to Asbury Park, and then headed down to Cape May Courthouse, set up all my gear. And so this event is outside at the Cape May Zoo. And so there's a pavilion there, and it's this beautiful, just a beautiful setting when you get a great night. Now it was a little warm this particular day, but there was a breeze blowing in, and it turned out to be a beautiful night. We had about 100 people there. And, I had a videographer come down, and we were chatting a little bit about what the night was going to look like and how it was going to work and all this stuff. And I said, just get some footage, just kind of do your thing. I'll pretend you're not even there, and we'll just kind of see what happens over the course of the night. So generally, I put together a set list before a show. So usually we've got, I usually start with a couple of worship songs and then go into some of my own stuff. I move over to the guitar, then I go back to the piano, all this kind of stuff. But this particular night, so I probably got, let's say 5 songs in. And maybe it was 4 or 5. I'm trying to think of what I did. Oh, so I started with Gratitude and Build My Life, and then I've been playing this new tune. Well, new for me. It's not new for anybody else. Morning. It's not new for anybody else, but it's an old Matt Maher tune called Lord, I Need You. And so that's when things started to shift a little bit. And then I played Good, Good Father. And when you're outside and you play Good, Good Father, I end with, just repeating this idea that it is amazing to be loved by the Father, right? So we kind of just hung there for a few minutes, and then I went into, I think, Firm Foundation, but I could just start to feel like there was a shift happening, and Spirit was moving, God was just kind of flowing through the place. Then I moved over to the guitar and I played a couple of songs, talked about the love of the Father, talked about the love of Jesus, just how incredible it is to have him in our lives. And you could hear, like, the crickets were starting to come out, birds were starting to tuck themselves in for the night. It just turned into this kind of beautiful evening. And then I went back to the piano and I played Indescribable, which is one of my favorite songs right now. But it's an old Chris Tomlin tune. But and then I ended the night with Be Thou My Vision. And again, just hearing the crickets, hearing the birds just kind of nestle themselves in for the night. It was super cool, and it just this vibe came over the venue and the place and the field. And I was chatting with some folks after, and they said, we felt it too. It just kind of turned into this beautiful night of just worship. And then, it was cool for me to see, like on Monday or Tuesday, I think the organization posted, hey, what was your favorite part of Praise in the Park? And a couple of people mentioned that Friday night, which was pretty awesome. So because they also do Saturday. They have a Saturday full day event as well. So I finished, I chatted with some folks after and sold some merch, and it was just amazing. And the videographer, he's a new guy that I'm working with now, but he said, man, it was kind of amazing just kind of watching this happen. And I said, yeah, I know, it's kind of, some nights it's pretty incredible. He said, I can only imagine what the car rides home are like for you. And I said, yeah. I said, some nights I finish packing up, I get in the car, and I just start crying. I'm just overwhelmed by the emotion of the whole thing. And then some nights I'm just, it's very quiet for the first half hour to an hour of the ride home or to the hotel, wherever I'm going. And I said, some nights it's just quiet, because I just need to let what happened kind of just fall into place. And so that was Friday night. So this weekend was cool because I was able to go home after every show and sleep in my own bed, which is always a plus. So Saturday night I was in Babylon, New York, which is on Long Island. And again, I played this church a couple of times. Beautiful place. Really nice old church in the center of town in Babylon. And I was chatting with the pastor before. He's new there. He just got there I think it's been 2 years that he's been there now. And let's go down and check out the water here this morning. It's a little full. We had some rain last night. Yeah, this is nice. You guys can see that. Yeah. So I was chatting with the pastor, and he's trying to bring new stuff into the community, trying to figure out what it looks like. And so hopefully we've built a new relationship there. We can start something a little more regularly that happens on Long Island. But it was a great night. I hadn't played there in probably maybe 3 or 4 years now, I'm thinking. And I'll put a picture or two. I think I have a few pictures. Yeah, I do. But I'll throw a few pictures up and you can see like what the stage looked like. They had some beautiful stained glass. I love playing some of these old Presbyterian Methodist churches. They have just this incredible stained glass. But again, just a beautiful night. I was talking to a couple of folks after, and it was neat to hear how in the midst of, what's going on Long Island, a lot of people, well, not a lot, but let's say 2 or 3 of the folks that I was chatting with, they're trying to find ways to bring more Christian music to the area, or to just bring more nights of, kind of community and hope to the area. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'd love to be involved. And so we were chatting a little bit about it, and so it's just good to see God's people working in and around these communities. And got to connect with some old friends again. So it's fun. When you do this for a long time, you start to see the same faces in a lot of different places. And it's awesome to just connect with folks and see how God is moving in their lives, and just see them care about these events. It's just kind of awesome. And then, so then I drove home. Of course, the traffic going out to Long Island and the traffic coming back from Long Island was disastrous as usual. So that's always fun. So then Sunday night was kind of a private event, I guess you could say. It was in Brick, New Jersey, and we were, it was a volunteer appreciation kind of hour of worship. And man, these people were singing louder than, like I had to put both my ear monitors in because I just couldn't hear the guide track, and it was so loud. They were just totally into it. It was awesome. And I love it when folks worship like that. It's just so incredible. And they were just praying in the middle of the songs, and man, it was super cool. So, but before the event, there's mosquitoes here. Before the event, I was chatting with a guy, and he said, "Hey, you were here a year or so ago, and you sold me a shirt that said there is hope on it." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I've got this whole movement," and we talked about it for a minute. And he said, "Well," he said, "I don't want to get into too many details, but," he said, "I think it was either his friend or brother or some relation." He said, "But he was in the hospital, and I don't want to get too personal, but in the hospital for, pretty sure it was for an overdose. And so he was in the hospital for a couple of days, and it looked like he was not going to make it. And he said, but I walked in and I had your shirt on. It said, 'There is hope' on it." And he said, "Oh, let me have that shirt." So this guy gave him the shirt. And so he wore the "There is Hope" shirt for multiple days in the hospital. And this guy said, he said it was amazing because his recovery happened. He started getting better, not because of the shirt. I mean, there were people in there ministering to him and witnessing to him, and he accepted Christ in the hospital. He decided to follow Jesus. So I was like, dude, he's like, yeah. He said, so just know that the shirt kind of started this whole thing. And I mean, I'm not saying that the shirt healed this guy. That's not what this is about. It's more about the idea that people can find hope in small things. And so this is one of those instances where this guy just happened to find a little bit of hope inside of this message. It says there is hope. And so I just thought that was kind of awesome. And he said, just know that that shirt has just gone through some battles, and it's been worn a lot. And it's been a great ministry tool. I was like, dude, thank you for sharing that, man. That is awesome. So I love it. So that was Sunday night. The people there are incredible. Just an incredible place to worship and just to be around. Just good vibes. You know, they're doing a lot of work in the community. Just great stuff. So happy to have been there to just lead them in worship for a night and kind of inspire maybe a little bit of hope. So that's, here's some, here we can go down and check out the Canadian geese here. So that was my weekend. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's see if you guys can check these dudes out. Yeah, it was a great weekend. I love doing this. I've been sore lately. My back is killing me. Welcome to the life of a touring artist. I was watching an interview with a guy named John Mayer. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't. He's a guitar player, singer, songwriter. Great dude. And he was complaining too about being on the road and back pain and all this kind of stuff. And so I was like, oh, thank God somebody can commiserate with what we're all going through as touring artists. But anyway, enough complaining. So that said, if you want to join, if you want to get involved in our ministry and what we're doing and how we do it, a couple of ways to do that. One is just go to jointheworshiproom.com, which is our membership site. It's $19 a month, and what we do is take $5 of that and donate it right back to helping us give kids food, clothing, clean water, and healthcare. And what you get for that is you get to support the ministry and be a part of the ministry, which is awesome, and I appreciate that 100%. But you also get devotions sent to your email inbox every day, and there's a library of over 3,000 to 4,000 written devotions. There's a library of these 30 to 45 minute Bible studies that I've done over the years, which are pretty great. And there's a library of worship videos, and I'm trying to think of, you get access to the app with all 20 albums. And then one of the best parts is you get access to our community, where we come together and seek Jesus together and pray for and with each other, which is kind of amazing. So we'd love to have you be part of that too. And then if that's a little too much for you, totally cool. But we'd love for you to download the app. You can just go to your local app store. And people were asking like, hey, where can I find the music? Like, where is the music? And I said, well, let's just put it on a place that they already know and love, which is the thing you're probably watching this on, which is your phone. And you can get access to all 20 albums, over 300 podcasts, and a bunch of written devotions as well, right there on your phone in the Dave Pettigrew app. So just download that. It's $4.99 a month. And what we do is take $1 of that and donate that right back to helping us sponsor kids. So we save lives through the use of the app as well. We're the only app in the world that I know of that does this. So we'd love for you to be a part of it that way. So just go to downloadworship.com to get started there, or just go to jointheworshiproom.com to get started in our membership. But either way, thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. Our little ministry that continues to show people that Jesus is alive and well up here in the Northeast and all up and down the East Coast of the United States. It's pretty amazing to be able to do this and to partner with you guys to make this happen. Okay? So, prayers up for you guys this week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.
And if I'm being honest, my complacency gets the best of me.